You can't lose a man who's emotionally unavailable. He's already gone. Whatever you thought he was only an illusion. He showed up just enough for you to believe in his potential. But that's all you ever get. Whether he disappears on his own or you let him go because you can't do this anymore. As much as it seems like you've lost him, what you've really lost is the dream. The reality is he can't live up to his part of the relationship, so he creates space. He pulls away. He finds every reasonable excuse to draw from to make it impossible for him to be emotionally expressive to you and still save face. Just wait till you've got the gift of hindsight working for you. Just wait till you see that this is his loss 1,000 times over. To have a woman with values who knows her own worth, who refuses to settle for anything less than a real relationship. This is a woman who didn't lose anything.
Yeah. Oh, Lord.
Oh, yeah.
Here we go again. All right. This is the Mrs. This is the Mrs. Z and Fifth podcast. All right.
Yes.
With your host, Zacchaeus and the Fifth General. What up, Zacchaeus?
Hey, what's good, man? What's good? Yeah, man. Bless.
Now, we've been hearing a lot in these social media spaces about what is and what ain't. There's not enough emotionally fixing my light here, audience. Oh, there's not enough emotionally available men. There's not enough of this. There's not enough of that.
Yeah.
And this is coming from the women, right? You don't see a lot of people. You don't see a lot of men talking about emotionally unavailable women.
Right.
If you ask 10 women, what does emotionally unavailable mean? You'll get 10 different answers. Quite frankly, I don't think they know what that means. Right? So I have an article. I have an article that's going to help us. This is from Insider. Right? And it says 8 signs that a person is emotionally unavailable. I'll be brief. Number 1, they're inconsistent with their communication. 2, they're having trouble committing to plans. 3, they send you mixed messages. 4, they pull away when things get deep. 5, they don't reciprocate your emotional efforts. 6, they become defensive surrounding emotional intimacy. 7, they won't be direct about their emotions. 8, they make you feel like you're the problem. Zacchaeus, have you ever heard this type of language about? Go ahead. About the subject, yeah.
Yeah, women are naturally emotional. And for the past year, 2 years, I've been hearing that women want to get some women. I have to say some women were like don't want to have a man's man. They want to have an emotional dude where they can go back and forth with. They can get out, they can argue with, back and forth with, and emotionally get upset with him, and he emotionally get upset with her. Some women want a man like that can get emotional. They want to get in. They want some men to touch their feminine emotions. They want them men to get in touch with their feminine side, and we're not naturally built like that. Man, got some guys that get very emotional, and they just as much as the ladies do. Some ladies do, but these some women, like you said before, like you read the article, they want some men to be in touch with their femininity, meaning that they want the men to be just as emotional as they are. And for the past year, I would say, year or 2 years, some women are considering men like that. And we don't mind going back and forth with them. Don't mind arguing back and forth. You know, as real men, we don't want to go. Some of us real men, we stand in our truth. We don't want to go back and forth with you, with a lady. That's your department. You have to get emotional and argue. But they got some women that don't mind. They want to. They like a little drama in their life. They rather go back and forth with you. They like that argumentative mentality of going back and forth, and that's what some women like. They like that drama in their life. No peace, no peace.
So
Very little peace.
Let's get more in depth, right? So
Yeah.
an example of a woman saying that she want and touched emotionally, right?
Mm-hmm.
So let's see, communication. So communication would be, I'm communicating you what it is that I don't want or expect, right? I think men who date with intention do already do that or should do that. Now, if a woman says that she keeps encountering men who don't do that, then is it safe to say that she is not intentionally dating herself, or she has bad taste and she doesn't know how to scout a man who is dating with intention? What do you think?
I think that she's basically trying to, some people are very selective. Some people are. I would say some, and I think she rather have that man to be on a. If I hope I'm answering the correct question. Want him to
I'll
be
help you. I'll help you.
on a sensitive.
I'll help you.
Okay.
A woman says she wants a man who's a communicator.
Yes.
Communicate a communicator in my in interpretation would mean that she wants a man who vocalizes what he wants, vocalizes what he doesn't want, and what he expects. I said that a man who is dating with intention already does those three things, or should do.
Yeah.
If he's dating with intention.
Yes.
So if a woman tells you, Zacchaeus, she has never met or has a problem meeting guys who are communicating that, then that would mean that she's not vetting properly the men who are dating with intention. I would say she's dating a man who gave her, she's dating a man with attention, not with intention, but a man who has given her attention, and she wants the attention because attention is a woman's currency.
Yes.
It's for some women it's more valuable than money, or as valuable.
Yeah.
Right. So your advice to that woman in terms of her having a problem meeting these guys, it sounds like she's not doing good enough job dealing with guys who are communicators. So that would mean that there's something that she's not doing right. Would you agree or disagree?
I agree with that. You know why I agree with that? Because some women, they look for that. They look for that comfort where a guy can spell things out for them, make them feel when you give her attention, you make her feel in a way. You make her feel secure when you're giving her full divided attention.
Yeah.
Full divided attention, and she wants that. And the reason why she said she wants a man that's more sensitive, because she would like a man to express all in I don't know, and go into details of what he wants, go into details, and this is what and give her all the attention that she needs, because when a man does that, and listen, over the years, I've learned to do that. I've learned to not only I learned to like pay attention, listen to what she's saying, not just listen to what she's saying, not just brush her over. And women love it when a lot of women do. They love it when you Give them that undivided attention. Let her express herself and give her the undivided attention. What they don't like is when they're talking and then she asks you, "Do you know what I said?" And then you all of a sudden, no, you don't. Whatever she said went over your head. But that's basically what it is in a relationship, you know. And I think, and that's why I say, I would tell this woman this: find somebody that you have a good chemistry with.
Before we get to that,
Yeah,
this is a big pot of gumbo. We got to separate the ingredients to make this show last.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, because this is gonna help you answer in the end. Save that for your final thought, actually.
Okay.
Now, the number one thing that this article said was they're inconsistent with communication. The reason why it's number one is because communication starts everything. You would agree with that, right?
I agree with that.
That's the only way to speak to someone and get to know someone is communication, right? And to also come to an agreement whether this is a relationship or not, right?
Right.
Let's go to number two. They're having problems. They're having trouble committing to plans. The number one plan you can commit to is a date.
I agree with that.
So ladies, and we're gonna get on y'all in a second, because a lot of this is aimed towards men. And then we're gonna talk about women who are emotionally unavailable, because that exists. A lot of it does, and I'll tell you how and why. Ladies, if you're interested in a man, obviously it would have to be a man to your liking, whatever he is, whatever the heck he is. If this is a guy who he asks you out on a date, you have a date set, and then when that day comes, oh, something came up. That could either be your red flag or your yellow flag. Yellow means slow down. So it could be your red flag or your yellow flag. If you get past that and they reset the date, and he says, you know what? Can we do it another time? And then if he don't set a date after the first problem came up, let that go. Because if something comes up and things do happen, this is life. I've had to do this once. And I'll admit I missed out on a woman because of this. But legit something came up. And I said, okay, well, let's do it next Saturday. So I gave her a date and a time and where we were going. Back to what I'm generally speaking. If a man don't tell you when y'all gonna get back together, then let that go. That's the red flag. The yellow was rescheduling, and then if it's another day, then fine. So I think that's a sign too. I think women sometimes ignore that because that happened first, right? So I can understand that. What do you got to say about that? About the not committing to plans thing? Because that's important too.
Well, I always say this when it comes down to that: if people do what's most important, and if you're not crazy about her, or vice versa,
yep,
it's not gonna happen because I've seen it before. When two people are excited about each other, the world could be in a tornado.
Yeah.
There'll be a tornado happening outside. They'll find a way to communicate to each other. They'll find a way to connect with each other.
Yeah.
They'll find a way to make sure that he hears her voice and she hears his voice.
Yeah.
I've seen it when somebody is not excited about you, they'll use all the excuses in not connecting with you. what they'll do, and listen to me closely, ladies. I'm married a long time. I know what I'm talking about, and I dated before then too. If a guy gives you excuses and tells you don't call him every day, or vice versa, if a woman says, why do you call me every day? Or don't let him waste your time. Ladies, listen to me carefully. Don't let him waste your time. Because, or men, if you are excited about somebody and you try to communicate with them, either text them or you try to FaceTime them, or you try to call them and they're sometimes they're not available, or sometimes they say, well, I'm so busy at work, I couldn't talk to you today, or I couldn't talk to you, or why do you, or she says, you don't have to call me every day, just call me a few days a week. It's called wasting your time.
All right,
do it.
Let me talk to the fellas real quick, especially young fellas.
Mm-hmm.
Fellas, let's reverse this. If you a woman, you asked out on a date, more than likely, because men do this, right? You ask a woman out on a date, and then she tells you, hey, something came up, I can't make it. It's her job to reschedule, because she's the one who said she couldn't make it. It's her job to reschedule. In this era, I know you were taught different. I know you were taught as the man that
you're supposed to, as a man, you're taught that you're supposed to set the trend. You're supposed to set the time, set the date, and if she doesn't, because she's like looking at you, that you're gonna do it. That's old school. I came up in the 80s and 90s.
Yeah.
You're supposed to as a man, you're supposed to set the date, time. Even if she said that I can't make it today, you're still supposed to set the date and time.
Okay.
Now,
so I want to finish that, right? So as the man, you already did that in the beginning.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
We're talking about after a man did that.
Yes.
The old school way was, if a woman said something came up and she can't make it, then the man has to once again reintroduce the date. I am here to tell you, men, do not do that. And I'm going to tell you why. I understand chivalry. Women a long time ago respected that. Today, the modern woman does not. She knows what chivalry.
Speak on it.
She knows what chivalry is.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But does she appreciate chivalry? No. The women of before understood that chivalry was an art and something that you appreciate and something that you actually earned.
Mm-hmm.
Today, modern women see chivalry as something they're entitled to. That's a big difference.
Huge difference. Yeah.
So if a woman says something came up, I can't make it, just say, okay, no problem. End of discussion. Wait for her to say, okay, can we do this next week? Then you respond.
Right.
You want to be proactive when you're pursuing a woman, but you want to be reactive when she cancels. Now, the third one, sending mixed messages. Mixed messages just means, I want to. Now, a lot of these are when you're in a relationship. So I guess we'll have to go a little forward. But this is how we could tell before you're in a relationship. A mixed message would be this. You don't even know if the person really like you. I get it. You got to feel someone, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I want to tell men, before you go on a date with these women, get their phone number. Talk to them. Talk to them for a couple of days. Something.
Mm-hmm.
Make her want to date you. Make her desire you asking her to date.
Yes.
Hey, let's go out. Don't just automatically get her number and be like, let's go out tomorrow. Nah, man. You got to see if this woman's even feeling you. Understand you approached her. You already are feeling her. At least how she looks. Right. You already have an intention. You know?
Yeah.
Now, I don't know if your intentions are pure or not, because you might be just wanting to smash. But we're not but this show, and what we talk about and what we represent as men of the faith, we're not endorsing smash culture. So that's not what we talk about on this show.
Right.
We don't encourage it. We know it exists and we'll speak to it, but we don't encourage smash out sessions. So obviously, who we're talking about are people with intention, men and women who date with intention. Back to the subject. Mixed message would be, the girl likes you or she doesn't like you.
Right.
So
right.
She'll go on the date. Because you got women out here who will free mill you. I know what it's like. It's happened to me more than once.
With me, like stand you up?
No, free mill me means they only went out with me to get treated for the date.
Oh, yes.
That's it.
Free meal.
Yes,
free
meal.
Yeah.
It's happened to me before more than once. And it's not a good feeling. It's really not. You have to find out if a woman is physically attracted to you.
Yes.
You have to probably ask that question. And then you got to ask the second question, because men are different from women in this. When we find a woman who's physically attractive, we find her sexually attractive too.
Yes.
So that's the same thing for us. For women will tell you that it's separate. They'll tell you that they find you physically attractive, but they don't know if they're sexually attracted to you. So this is why you have to ask a woman. And I know this is hard, because some brothers in the faith are like, yo, man, you leading with sex. That's not leading with sex. The point I'm making is this. If a woman doesn't find you sexually attractive, it's not going to work. It's not going to work. Because eventually the sex is going to happen.
Right.
So if she's not sexually attracted to you, then there would be a lack of motivation for you to even deal with that person on a relationship level. You'll deal with them as a friend.
Yeah, like what the young people say, you'll be put in a friend zone.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And you don't want to be put in a friend zone by a woman that you don't want to be put in a friend zone in. And you could be trapped in that friend zone forever. Don't do it. I've seen women say, hey, I put the man in the friend zone, but he worked really hard. He worked really hard and he earned me. Because you wouldn't do that to a man that you're sexually attracted to. Men and women, but we're talking about the women right now. A woman has a different set of rules. I've heard this on another show. I'll give credit to it. Shout out to Trill from Crew Season Podcast. He said that women have two sets of rules. The rules for the guy they want and the rules for every other guy. That is a fact on both sexes, because there are women that I want and there are women that I don't want.
Right.
The women that I don't want, I don't pursue them. I don't. And I don't accept dates from them. Well, because women don't ask men on dates. But a woman will accept dates from a man that she's not sexually attracted to and sexually attracted to. I know a woman, she pissed me off one day. because me and her are cool. I won't say her name respectfully. She told me about guys that she went on dates with. And then she was like, yeah, but it was only one date. It didn't get to the second date. And I said, why not? Well, I don't know. I wasn't really feeling him. I said, was you feeling him from the beginning? Well, not really. I said, wait a minute. Did you find these guys physically attractive? No. Why?
So you wasted his time in a way.
Right.
Yeah.
And guess what a man's currency is? Because I said a woman's currency is attention. A man's currency is time.
A man's currency is time
and resources, meaning
resources.
Finances, of course. But a man's currency in the dating game, when he's trying to get with somebody, is his time and his resources. A woman's currency is her attractiveness, which is her beauty, and her attention. That's her currency.
Yeah.
Because she's not paying for you, you paying for her. Right?
Right.
So when you're sending mixed messages like a mixed message would be, hey, a woman, you're trying to find out if a man wants to be a husband. And then he doesn't give you a direct answer. If a man is deflecting, then you have a problem. Zacchaeus, you're on mute. Let me see if I can unmute you. Nah, you got to unmute you. Hit the mic logo on the thing. See it? Yeah, you're on mute, Zacchaeus. See that logo? See that mic logo next to the 3 dots on your window? You see it? Yo.
Hey, yo.
Okay, that's weird.
Okay,
I don't know why that's happening. Okay, now I gotta mute you because I don't know what's going on. Zacchaeus, get out the studio and come back in. If you can hear me, you'll fix it. Yo, speak.
1 2 1 2.
All right, get out the studio and come back in, okay? It should fix it, okay? Okay. We're going to get to the bottom of this. Zacchaeus is having a technical difficulty on StreamYard for those who are listening about audio and don't know what's going on and not looking at the video. But anyway, mixed messages, right? Somebody has to be direct. You got to know what's going on because you don't want to waste your time. Nobody likes their time wasted, Let's get further in the article. Number 4, they pull away when things get deep. Now, in a relationship, right? This is kind of something that happens in a relationship. So I would think that you're past the first date phase. Zacchaeus is back.
Yeah, 1 2 1 2. Had to fix that mic. I don't know what happened, but
there we go. I got to the next subject, number 4.
Yes.
Or the next sign. Number 4, the article says they pull away when things get deep. Now I'm gonna let you start with that. What do you think they mean that they pull away when things get deep? Obviously, they're talking about when you're past a certain phase.
that's the when things get deep. If she's feeling you, if she's feeling you, am I using the right word?
Yeah.
If she's feeling you, she's gonna want to go further with you. If things get deep, if things don't get so deep, if things get deep, and she's really not feeling that vibe with you, she's gonna she's gonna really like give signals that she really is not. She's gonna stop it in a way where she's gonna be like, all of a sudden now you're gonna be like, well, how come she's saying that she wants to do her hair? She has things to do when I'm asking her out right now. And all this time we've been going out. That's why I say, men, you gotta make sure that that is a connection. If you gotta make sure that she's enjoying your company or you're enjoying her company. Make sure that she's enjoying your company. Because let's say, for instance, you think you're getting deep. You're getting deep with her, right? You're getting deep, getting to know each other better, getting deep, getting to know each other better. And it was no kind of as far as like talking and conversation, it's great. Conversation is good. Conversation is great. I don't know if you ever went through that, Fifth. When conversation is good, conversation is great. All of a sudden now, you want to hold her hand. You want to get get comfortable. You want to hold her hand.
Zacchaeus, I would think in that phase of the relationship that already started. So there had to be some type of holding hand, hugging, and all that infection. I think what they mean is when things get deep, meaning now when the relationship has to transition intentionally into just dating to relationship or possibly marriage.
Well, marriage now.
Like before it gets to marriage, meaning, okay, so you've already done vetted, I hope, right? And you're months down the line, a year down the line, and you still don't know if, you know what I mean? So you start this because you don't want to be in a relationship, because somebody doesn't want to be in a relationship anymore. So they start to kind of step back. The same intensity you had in the beginning when things were going good wear off. She was affectionate, now she's not. He was affectionate, now he's not. We were talking, now we're not.
Because you know why? Because whatever, because you're getting deep now. Because you're getting deep now. Because remember, it's a year, and now a year has passed by. And you want to see if she's gonna be the one. You want to see if she's gonna be the one. You want to see if she's gonna be the one. But I say this. This is what I say. I say you gotta be excited about each other from the day you started until the day you possibly become engaged. It cannot, because guess what? If you want to go deep with that person, if that person's you already passed the phase of holding hands, you already went through all that already, like you said, you already went through all that, chemistry. Now you feel the chemistry is good, and now you feel that okay, and your mind, this is the one. Now it'll be weird. It feels weird that okay, all of a sudden now it stopped. Where did I go wrong? What did I say? It's not you. I think sometimes a person just wanted to have. Sometimes people just want to have a good time. They don't want to take you. They don't want to go so deep with you as far as fiance, bringing a relationship to the next level. Sometimes people just enjoy just the chemistry for the moment. It's hard. I know it's hard to make sure that it's not just that. But the reason why that person fade away, ease off for you, because they was enjoying it for the moment, and now the excitement is no longer there, because at the moment she needed you to be an emotional crutch. She needed you to be emotionally attached to her. But now that the excitement has faded away,
the thrill is gone.
She got what she wanted, or he got what he wanted.
Right. That's what
he got what he wanted. She got what she wanted. So now the relationship has now. That's what, and sometimes you get confused. Sometimes men get confused, women get confused when it's like that, because it's like, wait a minute, I thought we was going somewhere with this.
Yeah, come on now.
I thought we was going somewhere with. I thought we was gonna get engaged and possibly marriage. Now, you got to be careful of that, because that's why it's good to always have a conversation before you think about jumping to the next level, because that's why communication is key. Because if that person, that's why you can't. The thing is with people, this is the problem with some young people. You can't assume. Assumption gets you in trouble. Assumption gets you like, well, I thought that we were going to. No, but if you don't communicate that, talk it out, and say, listen, I'm and talk, just show hints for women. I know it's like it's corny, but this is where young people get confused, because you're always assuming that this is the one good be the one for me. She didn't. But I'm thinking I'm gonna get her a ring. You buy her a ring. It happened to a young person before. Guy, true story. Guy bought her a ring, went ring shopping, got her the ring. Then all of a sudden, now as time went on, he found out that, you seen somebody else? I thought we was an item. Well, young brother, it's a reason why she eased off for you, because she felt that you was getting too serious with her. She was only there with you for a moment. Your job was to find out where her head was at.
Yeah.
That was your job, to find out. Listen,
and you have to do it, and you have to do it sooner. I think a lot of us have gotten bad advice growing up, even from our own family, right? Because they were trying to figure it out too. Well, you gotta wait to a certain time to ask this. You gotta wait for this. You gotta wait for that. Not when you're 30 plus. Maybe when you're in high school, but when you're 30,
and that's the thing. Yeah,
but when you're 30 plus, well, for women 25 and up.
Mm-hmm.
The reason why I say 25 and up, because 25 is because women bear children, and so if a woman asks too late when she's 40, you need to find that out before you're 40, ladies, because birth. Anyway, you gotta ask certain things sooner. You gotta separate the weak from the fake, man. I mean, you gotta separate the fake from the real.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And I know some people say, listen, you gotta withhold some things. You do in a sense, but there are things that you do have to be upfront about, as far as knowing what a person wants and doesn't want.
Right.
I don't think you be that mysterious with it. You know what I'm saying? Because otherwise you're gonna waste a lot of time. But I think a lot of men and women have been involved with one person for off and on times, so they haven't experienced other people. So,
they got
So they probably don't get that. Hey, there is someone else out there. If the person that you're with is not for you, and it's taking you 10 years to figure out, that's 10 years too long.
That, especially if you're constantly. I know years ago I read this book. It was a relationship book, and a guy taking her out all the time, constantly taking her out. I mean, as far as like, he figures it's a date. This brother, Christian brother, taking her out for the longest time. 2-3 years go by, and come to find out, she told other people about him. He's just a friend.
Hold on. So, to him, he didn't feel that way, but she felt that he was just a friend.
Yes.
Okay, that's a lack of communication there.
And I said, what? You've been taking this person out for the longest time, hanging out with her, And I know that because a Christian, well, he said he claimed to be a Christian because I ain't touching a woman that way, and she ain't my wife. But all this time, you didn't figure it out because it's the reason why she skipped weekends with you. You didn't figure it out. You didn't figure it out. That I've been taking her out. I'm hoping that she was taking the word item. If you don't communicate, there's a lot of confusion, and you're wasting your time.
Now,
don't let people waste your time.
In that situation, whose fault is that? Her or the man?
That's his fault.
Yeah. You know why? I'm gonna tell you. Let's say why it's his fault though.
Yeah.
It's not just. Let's unpack that.
Mm-hmm.
It's his mishap, I'll say, because what he should have did was been direct, and I think the reason why he wasn't direct, that guy, is because he held her to a certain esteem, value, and pedestalized her, and it just felt good for him to take her out. But what he should have just meant check for is if she was feeling him as much as he was feeling her, and that goes to number 5. They don't reciprocate your emotional efforts. Dating with intention has to have some emotion in it. It's structure, but it has to have some emotion and feelings in it because this is somebody that you actually want.
Right.
And that you want to build with.
Mm-hmm.
So you're with someone. You're a giving person. You're caring and sharing.
Mm-hmm.
They're not with you.
Right. Right.
That's a sign.
Mm-hmm.
Gotta let it go. Go ahead, Zacchaeus.
Yeah, and there's people that waste their time. You know, I was young at one time, very very young, and I at one time, no, way before I got married, I took this girl out and went to a mall in Brooklyn, Kings Plaza Mall, bought up a lot of, used my paycheck to buy up a lot of things, clothes for her because she said so. And I said, oh, we're dating, we're going out. Young brothers, don't let that be you.
Yeah,
don't do that. Don't spend up your time and money and assume that that person is with you because that person is dating you. Because she may just think, oh, well, because remember, in this day and age is an entitlement generation. And if you go do that, well, I'm going to spend this on her. I'm going to spend that on her. I'm going to use my income tax money and I'm going to blow it a little bit on this shorty that I like. Am I going the right way? I'm going to spend it on this shorty that I like. And she's cute. And I'm going to take her out. I'm going to take her to this nice little fancy restaurant where things are very expensive now. Very, very expensive now. And I'm going to take her out and I use half my income tax money to take her out. And all of a sudden now, because you didn't communicate with her and you're doing this for a numerous amount of time. You took her out with your income tax money, but you also decided to take her out, prolong, keep going out with her, taking her out. And you know what she tells her friends? You're a buddy of hers. Because you fail to communicate with her. Now, there's a lot of young people that living with this assumption, like, I assume this. Don't assume. Communicate. Don't assume. I know sometimes where young people are stuck with their phones and they got and it's not social like how it used to be back in the days where a guy back in the days, I'm talking about 80s and 90s. I'm going way back when you could just ask a young lady up for a number and ask her around and she get the drift. Now it's more like sometimes it's an unusual approach these days. I don't know. I've been married so long. Sometimes right. I'm way out of touch. but I'm just saying it's a little weird what some people say because remember this is because some women feel entitled, and some young guys are just going with the assumption. I thought that I assume it's always a mess up thing. Always a mess up thing. Yeah.
First of all, I want to tell a man to never do that, man. Provision is for your wife, man. Provision is not for a girlfriend. It's just not. There's a difference. You do things because you want to or like to. A gift is one thing, but a girl saying you got to buy me clothes because we're dating. Oh no. All right.
I want to go to the mall. I want to go to the mall. You got to get me some
she
stuff.
Gotta have her own money. And reciprocation is a big deal. You know what I mean? So if you feel like you're investing everything in this woman and nothing's coming back, it's not being reciprocated. Same thing, ladies, with y'all, because y'all always get on.
And don't do this, guys. I want to say this real quickly.
Mm-hmm.
If you have to do all the calling all the time, all the reaching out to all the time, all the calling all the time, she don't call you unless
she don't call you. She don't nothing.
She never calls you. You can skip 2 days, and this is a test. Skip 2-3 days, 4. That's a test. Skip a day without calling her, and see if she'll ring that phone or text you. Let's see what happens. And a day passed by, 2 days passed by. She don't call you, text you. 3 days pass by. She don't call you or text you. Brothers, go your way. Yeah. Don't waste your time.
Yeah. And ladies, y'all too. Don't be sitting up there. The only way you talk to him is if you text him or call him first. And
yes,
you know what I'm saying. Come on, ladies.
Yes.
Especially when like say a woman's with a man, and she knows his work schedule. He's on his days off. And you still ain't heard from him. Keep it moving. I mean, I'm just saying we gonna help the ladies too. All right.
Exactly.
Number 6 on this article. They become defensive surrounding emotional intimacy. Yeah. I need to read 7 to help that though. 7 says they won't be direct about their emotions. And number 8, they make you feel like you're the problem. Okay, 6, 7, and 8 all go together for it to make sense. So defensive is this. You get called hey, say you get like 2 texts happen. Hey, what you up to? And then the response is, man, I ain't doing nothing wrong. I mean, you're just asking what a person's up to.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, I don't understand, And then not being direct about your emotions, that means how you feel. So I want to talk to women personally. So a lot of women will say they want a man to tell them how they feel. Do you really? Because there are a lot of men who tell a woman how they feel, and it doesn't get received well. A lot of men tell women how they really feel. Just name it. And when it's said, a woman will internalize that as, yo, you coming at me or you shaming me. And I get it. There are a lot of men who get defensive too. But ladies, I want to tell you why you're running into men who are defensive. Keep in mind, and me included in this sense, I was raised by my mother. So most often, men who are raised by their mother will take on the emotions of their mother on how they handle conflict. This is why it's very important to have a man in your life. You know what I'm saying? A father figure, if not your own father, right?
Right.
Because I myself, when I was younger, I had to check myself on that. And good. I mean, I don't want to make it seem like I don't have my dad, but I just want to make it clear that I spent most of the time of my life with my mother. So I was in the house with her. So I saw how she handled things with us, me and my brother, and with others with conflict. And then I realized that's a woman's emotion. A man should not conduct himself emotionally the same way a woman does. A man must have more decorum. Women must have decorum too. But this is why a woman who is in a marriage with a man who is the head of who is leading can bring correction to that woman when she's going too far. And you create a system where your woman knows, okay, I remember my man doing what's best for me and corrected me in terms of going too far. She's seen you do that to her many times. So now when you get rowdy, she could do the same to you because she saw you do it with her. And when you slip up, she could say, baby, now's not the time. Because as the man, you told your lady, all right, let's not do that here. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like I forgot where I was. Oh, so most women will be vocal and say, hey, this is what's bothering me, and this is what I need you to do to fix it. Now, usually women have the approach wrong. You know that saying, it's not what you say, but how you say it?
Oh, you say it, yeah.
Combination of both, but how you say things matters. Zacchaeus, go ahead. You're a married man, so speak from a married man's perspective.
It's all about your approach. How you handle certain situations. When you are in a misunderstanding with somebody that you're dating or married to, it's all about the approach. And I can definitely speak about the approach. I hope I'm going in the right direction with this. I can definitely speak on the approach. It's all about the approach and how you, because when she's emotional, out of whack, a man should not be emotionally out of whack too. It shouldn't be like a hurricane hitting a volcano. She's exploding and you're exploding as well. Okay? It should be more like, as a man, she respects us. Why? Because we're supposed to control our emotions. Let her go crazy. Let her lose her mind, because as men, we're supposed to not be so emotional and hold our composure when she's going crazy. Because a woman feels secure. A woman would feel secure. And guys, if you're listening, hear me out. A woman would feel secure when you can control your emotions and and if you're going crazy and she's going crazy, she knows that you lost control already. She doesn't want to be with a man that's emotionally off balance. Maybe once in a while to express yourself, but not all the time. She's nervous and you're nervous too.
Right.
Bad combination.
Somebody has to be level-headed.
Somebody has to be level-headed. The whole, and let me tell you something, guys. That's attractive. That's attractive to some women. When a man can hold down his emotions and when she's going crazy, you're like, you're not so, you're just you listen to her, what she's saying, but you're not pulling your hairs out. I shouldn't even talk about me pulling my hairs out. Anyway, you're not pulling you're not pulling your hairs out. You're more level-headed.
Yeah.
She's crazy, and she's go getting emotional and everything, but you calm. Trust me, you gonna pull her that way, because she can say, wow, I'm gonna do, he can control his emotions. In a way, she feels secure. She likes that.
Yeah.
Because let her be the emotional one. You
Yeah.
don't be the emotional one, because when you do that, she knows that she can get you every single time. And it's not good when a woman knows that she can push your buttons every single time. It is not good. And some women do it purposely. They know, because they know they can get you that way. They tease you, and they want to see, some women want to see guys get upset and angry. So sometimes some women get kicked out of that. Gotta be careful of that. But when you know how to control your emotions and know how to control your mind, listen to me. You know how to control your emotions and know how to control going crazy. Trust me. She knows she can't get you, and that's attractive to her.
Last point.
Trust me.
Last point in the article speak to this. It says that they make you feel like you're the problem. Now, that connects with the last part.
Yeah.
Because if I voice what's going on in a relationship that I feel that the relationship is lacking, then it could become a blame game. It could become, well, the reason why I'm like this is because you do this, and because you do that, because you do that. And then here you was being emotionally available, like she asked.
Yeah.
Right? You know, then that's the response you get. What do you say to that?
He said when it comes to like lacking,
women are very forward for the most part about something in a relationship that is lacking, and a woman will tell it to you. The thing is, the last part said they make you feel like you're the problem. So you're the guy, and this time it's you coming to her and telling her what the situation is. It gets received this way. Well, it's like this because of you, I'm like this. Because of you, I do that. And if you wasn't like that, then I would be this. Make you feel like you're the problem. Here you
know
was.
Why?
Go ahead.
Yeah.
No, go ahead.
You know why? Because, and I'm going to be honest with you, women, technically they put us as their leader.
Not all of them.
I have to say something. Because some women are controlling. Some women are very controlling and domineering. Yeah. Some women are very controlling and domineering. But they have some women that say that so they got some women say, yeah. They look at the guy that they went and say, you're the reason why I'm this way. I'm doing this because of you. They blame it. They put the blame thing on you because they're looking at you as, well. Some women like playing the role as their man being the leader, and a woman that's controlling would never say that because she thinks she's always in control.
Yeah.
But they got some women that they like putting the men in the leader's position, and they're the ones that would say, the reason why I'm this way because of you. The reason why I do this because of you.
Yeah.
The reason why I did that because of you. The reason why this is you. And some women was raised that way. That when I'm with a man, he's the leader. But they got some women that are very dominating, and controlling. You will never catch them saying, "Well, yeah, I did this because of you. I did this because of this and this. You got me this way." You're not gonna catch them doing that. But they got some women that take the position of letting you be the leader. So therefore, every decision that they make, all of a sudden now it's your fault. Every decision that they do, everything that they do, you get the blame. Yeah, if like I heard this, for example. Oh, my man, if he's smoking weed, I'll be the biggest weed head. I'm like, why is that? If he's smoking weed, you'll be the biggest weed head. Yeah, because if he smokes it, I'm gonna smoke more because I follow him. If he smokes it, I'm gonna smoke too because my man is smoking.
So if he smoke crack, she gonna become a crackhead too?
She said she'll become the crackhead too, because she's my man is a leader. I follow him. He's my leader. God made him the head of us, and you hear some women say that God made the man the head. Now he's supposed to cover me. He's supposed to cover me. He's supposed to protect me. He's supposed to, and that some women today do feel that way. Some women today do feel that way.
All right.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. But you understand what I mean. It could become,
oh yes,
it could become a finger pointing thing. When really, ladies, what you have to do is this, and men, just continue to be who you are and do what it is that you're supposed to do in your role in a relationship. And you don't always have to feel like, oh, because they did something that you got to do this and that no. A lot of people are doing the right thing to the wrong people. That's what it is. They're doing the right thing, but for the wrong people. I have a clip to play, and then we're going to wrap this show up pretty soon. This is from a podcast from Spicy Mari. She's interviewing a Instagram woman by the name of Connor Morgan. Fine woman, too. Spicy fine, too. Both of them are fine, but Connor, that's a good-looking woman right there. I'm going to just keep it real.
Word, okay.
Yeah, this is what she had to say.
Right now, why you truly believe that you are single. I believe I'm single because
I just don't feel like leaving the house. I'm comfortable at home. So now that's why I feel like I'm single. I don't put in the energy to go out and meet people. That's where I fail now.
In addition to your isolation, I think that the other thing that adds to it is your time spent dedicating to men who do not have the same relationship goals as you.
Let's talk about it. Emotionally unavailable men.
We can use those experiences to learn from and to, take us to the next place in our life.
Yeah.
But when you are spending too much time somewhere with someone, you are potentially missing out on other opportunities that could be coming into your life. There is a window of blessings that you miss out on when you are distracted with things that do not serve you, people who do not love you the way that you deserve.
Yeah.
So that's the other reason.
1000%.
Okay.
You hit the nail on the head.
And the third reason is, as ambitious as you are, the most go-getters of the get is going, the going is good. You will not actively and consistently even approach or pursue or profess interest in what you desire. If you had to tell me right now.
Okay. That was ended well, but Spicy was doing a lot of talking for Connor. Connor first said, because this was the real truth. They say, and Connor, you probably don't listen to this podcast. We ain't important, I know. But if you ever was, we're not picking on you. We're just using you as an example for modern women. She said, I don't like to leave the house, or whatever she said. So she don't really go out as much. So she's not letting herself be seen. Which when you go on her IG, it don't seem like that. It seems like she out a lot. But anyway.
Right.
Then the second thing, Spicy, her question was, hey, you're meeting men who don't have the same relationship goals as you. Connor says emotionally unavailable men. That's not what Spicy asked you, but that was your response. So you agreed with the fact that she said that another reason is, besides you not getting out the house, you getting men who don't have the same relationship goals with you. She said emotionally unavailable men, because the men that she wants, come on here, somebody. My uncle used to say that. Still says that. Somebody who's the same goals would mean we want the same things. A lot of women will say they want a man with the same goals. You don't hear too many men say that. I'll tell you why. Because a woman's goals does not tell us how good of a wife she'll be or not. That's not what that tells us. If a woman said that her goal is to be a doctor, okay, your goal is to be a doctor.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then okay, so that's that, right?
Yeah.
When a woman asks a man, hey, and he says, I want to be a doctor.
Yeah.
To her, that's her husband.
Yes.
But being a doctor does not make you a husband. A woman hears the word doctor in career as, okay, that's a husband because he's gonna have the cash flow.
Right. Security,
yes. Right? Provision. Yes. He's gonna have the cash flow.
Yep.
Us as men, when a woman says she wants to be a doctor, that means she probably will not be home. Ladies, you want doctors. Understand, doctors are busy. They're busy. Especially when they're on-call doctors.
Yeah, and there's many times that doctors on the holidays, because I know some people, oh, man, be on the holidays. I have off, you have off.
Mm-hmm.
When a doctor's on call, he's on call. Mm-hmm. Christmas or no Christmas.
Yep.
When he's delivering babies, he's on call.
He's on call.
Christmas or no Christmas. And there's going to be many times you're going to want to spend time with him.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to have to jump and run.
Yep.
Many, many times.
And you have to just deal with it.
Yes, and oh, I want an NFL player. I want to date an NBA player.
They're going.
Understand
They're on the road.
They're on the road. Seasons for this when the season is on, it's on. You're not gonna see them because you hear women. You hear some people say, "Oh, I wanna he got to be making six figures. I want to. He got to be a baller, or he's got to have this. He got to, man, bad. He got to have this. He got to have that. He got to be his career. Listen, the man is successful in his career. Most of the time, he'll be gone.
Exactly.
Or busy, because they got people that work at home and they're successful. Or he might be busy. So you have to understand, you can't have it all. You can't have it your way at all times.
Exactly. So what I'm trying to teach women is, if you're looking for a husband, don't lead with career. Women always lead with the man's career to qualify them as a husband.
Yeah, because they look at security.
Because they're looking at right. As men, that's not what we're doing. We're trying to figure out what your nurturing qualities are. That's what's going to help us, because you're not providers. Yeah. So we're not looking for that, right?
Yeah.
Men and women look for two different things. Now, kind of mentioned, she said emotionally unavailable men. Mm-hmm. I think the first thing, and then at the end she said, the type of men or whatever. Hold on, let's go back.
If you had to tell me right now why you truly believe that you are single, I believe I'm single because
I just don't feel like leaving the house. I'm comfortable at home. So now that's why I feel like I'm single. I don't put in the energy to go out and meet people. That's where I fail now.
In addition to your isolation, I think that the other thing that adds to it is your time spent dedicating to men who do not have the same relationship goals as you.
Let's talk about it. Emotionally unavailable men.
We can use those experiences to learn from and to, take us to the next place in our life.
Yeah.
But when you are spending too much time somewhere with someone, you are potentially missing out on other opportunities that could be coming into your life. There is a window of blessing. on when you are distracted with things that do not serve you, people who do not love you the way that you deserve.
Yeah.
So that's the other reason.
1000%.
Okay.
You hit the nail on the head.
And the third reason is, as ambitious as you are, the most go-getters of the get is going, the going is good. You will not actively and consistently even approach or pursue or profess interest in what you desire. If you had to tell
Now, I know that was loaded, and then I got one more of her, because this is going to explain also why certain things that have been distractions are kind of where she's all right now in her life.
Yeah.
She said, as ambitious as you are, let's say that in layman's terms. Okay, so I don't know how much money Connor makes. She hasn't told us, but I guess what she's trying to say is because the men who are ambitious or who got maybe the salary that she wants, they're already off the. They already have enough competition, and Spicy's like, you're not willing to. Well, because Connor's not willing to compete with all of those women that these highly ambitious, successful men have at their fingertips. And that's not the man's fault. That's the women's fault for teaching men with money you could have anything in this world because of what you got.
Right.
Women taught men that first. And desired that because that's what we saw in these social spaces for years. You got to have this if you want to be with me. I don't want no scrubs. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I don't want no. Yeah. TLC. Yeah.
You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? So that's what taught a generation of, I want a man for this, but what I really want is this, but then I also want him to have this.
What was that song? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No romance without finance. You gotta have a J-O-B
if you want to be with me. See? Now,
Yeah, man.
Now, they said you got to have a J-O-B if you want to be with me. No finance without romance.
Yes.
No romance without finance.
80s song.
They're saying, right, but women sung this.
Yes.
Women have enabled the rich man to tell women, you have to share me. Women taught that. Not men. Okay? Because as a woman do, a man will follow in terms of trying to get you. That's actually true. Now, as a woman follows, as you do, a woman will follow when it comes to marriage. Because she wants to be a wife, and men hold the access to that.
Right.
Women ain't getting on one knee talking about, will you marry me? That's very, very, it's less than 1% of women in the world who do that.
Doing that, yeah.
Less than 1%.
Yeah.
Don't let these anecdotal videos fool you,
Right.
So the thing is, when women hear that, then they say, well, you trying to tell us to lower our standards? No. Actually, what I'm telling ladies is to keep your standards. Please keep them. But just know what the results are when you do have standards like that. Do you even meet those standards that you're asking for?
Right.
And that will segue to this. Connor, no disrespect, just saying. But this explains whatever your criteria is, or things that you explain in this same interview, are probably the reason why things are this for you and other women, and this is based off of what you said. I'm only using your words, kind of. You know? And it's a shame because Conor Morgan, listen, I don't think attraction is an issue with Conor Morgan. And I don't know if Spicy's single or not, but she's not speaking for herself. Spicy look good too. But Connor's a beautiful woman. Connor's a beautiful woman. I don't know how friendly she is because that matters too. Can't just be beautiful. You got to be pleasant to be around.
Yeah.
Connor's a good-looking woman. Conor Morgan is a good-looking woman, but she's single for a reason. Here we go.
This and that.
Yeah.
And people pry into information. So I'm very particular, but because you're my sis, I'm like, we gonna go and be comfortable and share.
Yes.
So in answering that question, I would say this isn't the life I imagined, because when I look back at when I was 16, 17, 18, going to college, like all I knew, because in my family, it was you go to college, you get a 9-to-5, a good 9-to-5, you excel in that 9-to-5, you climb the career ladder, you get married, and you have kids, you buy a house. All of that is with a spouse and with kids and my mom had kids when she was 28, 29. I'm 33. So when I look at my life, am I proud of myself? Are you crazy? Of course. Of course I'm proud of myself. But I never thought I'd be buying my first home without my husband. Not a spouse, my husband. I never thought I'd be moving into my first home, a 4-bedroom home, a single woman. You know, I thought the rooms would be filled with kids because that is what I saw in my family. That's what I saw with my parents. And I didn't think I'd be doing it by myself. And it's tough. It's hard. It is so much harder than what I thought.
Okay.
It's a challenge. And I wish there's some days when like my contractor's calling about, we need a forklift to get a 800-pound garage door off of the truck. And I'm like, I don't have a forklift. I wish I could call my husband and say, babe, I need help.
Can you
Like
take
I
care
need
of
help.
this?
I don't want to do it all on my own.
Yeah.
But you know, I'm in that position. So
Okay.
Okay. You heard that, Zacchaeus?
Mm-hmm.
She says she never imagined her doing all of this stuff alone, and she's doing it anyway. And how old is she? Let me go back.
So I feel like that's
Let's go back.
my first home, a 4-bedroom home, a single woman. You know, I thought the rooms would be
Hold on.
house. All of that is with a spouse and with kids and my mom had kids when she was 28, 29. I'm 33. So
She's 33.
Yeah. Yeah.
And she's done some things out of order, according to what she said, because the order that she was expecting was to have a 4-bedroom home with her with her husband. I mean, I don't have a wife and I got a home, but men are supposed to buy homes. Men are supposed to buy homes before they get a wife, if they're able to. If they're able to, let me be very nice here. And also, I live in Houston.
Yeah.
And so let me also say that better. What I'm saying is, it is looked upon very good for a man to establish himself in owning property before he has a wife. But when a woman does that before she has a husband, then a decision comes down to this. Say she meets a man who has at 33. Say she meets a man who has a home. He has a home, she has a home. Whose home they moving into? Okay. Let's move on. So, also I kind of want to encourage this. I don't have any children, but if I did and I had an adult daughter, right? It's different with sons. But if I had an adult daughter, I would tell my daughter that, you know what, you don't have to move out as long as you're respecting the place. You don't have to move out because there are certain responsibilities that you don't have to have yet. Because a man builds his empire, he should have one He should have his own domain. I believe all men should have their own domain. Okay? When they want to start families. Right? But a woman could stay at home, you know, with her parents, and a man doesn't bat an eye. Because women move in with us, not we move in with them. But a lot of women are in relationships with men who have moved in their place. Then now when they get good and ready, they can kick the man out, and now the man is in the streets. Homelessness with men is sky high. Sky high. You know, most of the shelters are going to really kind of cater to the women because women shouldn't be out in the streets. Women can't survive in the streets, man.
Right.
They really can't. It is very dangerous for a woman to be homeless in the streets.
It is very dangerous, yeah.
Now, it's not safe for anybody to be in these streets, right?
Yeah.
But it is seen that a man could better fend for himself,
right,
in terms of survival if he's in the streets.
Yes.
You know, I don't want nobody in the streets, but I'm just saying this is just. But we all know that women and children are soft targets. So we don't want them in the streets, right?
No, not at all. Nope.
Now, Zacchaeus, I want you to speak to that. Kind of talked about that. She said she never imagined. My assumption is her standards may have probably led her to that.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
Well, she looked at her mother as a model. That she wanted to have that set where she's married at a certain age. She has that man. She has those kids.
Right.
She wanted to. I think that was her plan to have that.
Yeah.
But sometimes we led in different directions. In different directions and different lives don't happen according to how we plan it. Sometimes.
True.
So it's understandable that she wanted to have that. I mean, she's 30-something years old. Most women, 33 years old. So, most women that desire marriage want to get married within their 20s, late 20s. I would say late 20s, late 20s, mid to late 20s. They don't expect to be single within the late to mid to late, especially if they're in their mid 20s, they're in a serious relationship. But if they're in their late 20s, they're looking for marriage. That's the way. Because remember, they have a women have a, especially if they want a family, women have a biological clock where they have to have kids at a certain time. Now, anything after 30s is pushing it. And now it looks like, well, and they question themselves, why am I still single? In their mid-30s, they question themselves, why am I still single? There's no other guy good for me. Why am I still single? They women question themselves with that. Now for the men now, in the Bible it says Adam had the foundation.
Yep.
He had the foundation. And it is important for men to first establish foundation first before they get married.
Hold on. Let's also keep in mind, I'm sorry. We need to speak to the context of Adam. Adam had foundation. You know what his foundation was? The world.
The world, yeah.
And he already had dominion over every beast of the walking, air, and the sea. So he was already a leader.
Yes.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
And so God provided a helpmate, which was Eve, right? So Adam was rich.
Yes.
Right? And we're not talking about, there was no such thing as dollars and cents back then. But because of what God gave him, he was very rich. The world was his. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Well, that was the intention. The intention was, this is yours.
Mm-hmm.
You can't live by bread alone. Bread, the currency at that time was his his position on the planet,
Yes.
and what he had. All the
Yes.
food you could eat, all the water you could drink, he had all the
Yeah.
resources. Adam was a rich
Right.
man. We
Right,
could, you know what I'm saying? Right? So rich in nature, right? So so what you're saying, foundation. Yes, a man has to have a foundation
Yes.
first when he wants to have this. Now, how important do you think that is in this? I think it's very important. I find it important because I'm a young man. But
Right.
how important do you think that is valued by today's women? Because foundation, they may interpret foundation differently. Foundation, what you're talking about is more in a practical sense. A roof over your head, money to put clothes on your back, and food on the table.
Yeah. Yes.
That's right. But what she might interpret as foundation is abundance for my lifestyle. What do you say to that?
I'm gonna say this. It might be off. It's not really off the topic, but I'm gonna say it.
Yeah.
Brothers. A lot of us brothers can't, because of the salaries.
Yeah.
A lot of us in the cities where we dwell in, a lot of us can't afford foundation. The way how the structure and the social structure and maybe race, I could put race into it too. Foundation is like, we want, of course, every man wants a foundation. Every man wants a foundation. But the way how this society make it, it's like they almost don't want you to have the foundation. It's like they don't want you to have it. Because you get hired, you may, and a lot of us have the education, and we still cannot access the foundation. Why? Because the cost of living is off the roof. Now, of course, we all want, every man wants that foundation, to have a house and to have that wife in the house and to have those and some men want kids, they have those kids running around, but they make it a hard task because of the cost of living. They make it a very hard task. Now, if a woman, these days, it almost seems, dependent on the city where you live. If you live in a very expensive city, it is hard to acquire that foundation. I mean, you can. It might be a fixer-up house. It could be a fixer-up house. But because of some of the women entitlement, because of their entitlement, it's more looking like, well, I live on my own. This is what I could afford. To some people, it's not good enough because of the mentality of he has to make so much amount of money in order to possess me or have me or be with me. And that's what makes it hard. For a lot of us men want that foundation. Yes, we're supposed to have it. But that's another show to talk about me and Fifth that we're going to have to do. That's another show that we're going to have to do because it's serious. Yeah.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
I want to also say one thing to women like Connor, right?
Yeah.
I would like to talk to Connor. I probably won't, but I would like to talk to Connor and get her side of the story because I think the style of interviewing that she got from Maury, and no, this is not disrespect. It would be different if she was talking to a guy.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. I think she needs to sit down with a man and hear from a man's perspective, and to really dig into what really is going on there. I'm pretty sure for men who already know who Connor is on Instagram, and listen, Connor got. I'm sure men know Connor has how many followers she got on Instagram. Shoot, I'm one of them. I ain't gonna hold you. Connor Morgan has over 300,000 subscribers, followers on IG. So men have seen her.
Yeah.
I know they have.
Yeah.
So she's Instagram popular, right? And I don't mean that to say that she's not popular or anything else. So looks is not the problem.
Right.
Looks are not the problem. Her Instagram is lit.
Yeah.
Super lit. She got some beautiful photos, right?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure there are plenty of men who want to marry that woman. Shoot, I'll marry her, Connor.
Yeah.
I got a 4-bedroom house. We'll work it out.
Yeah.
You know, so
yeah.
But I think the men who want her and really are for her and who are probably gonna be the most down for her are just not her type. That's all. They're just not her type. They're not qualified by her standards.
Right.
So a lot of women are trying to meet men that they like and then try to qualify them.
Yeah.
That's not how this works.
Yeah.
Unless you're going to get on one knee and propose. If you're going to take matters into your own hands by asking a man to marry you, but if you're not going to do that, then you're not going to get what it is that you're looking for, you know? And I'm talking to not only just her, but the modern woman, but I also want to say, I think at the end of the day, she'll be just fine. You know, she got to seek God for answers.
Yeah.
But I think she'll be just fine. But I also think that this is why movies like Hitch existed. In the movie Hitch, there's a line, a very important line in the film. A woman was upset because a guy used Will Smith's character, who was a date doctor, to get some drawers. When the date doctor, Will's character, was only for men with intention.
Mm-hmm.
He helped intentional men get the women of their dreams.
Mm-hmm.
That's what Hitch is about. Intentional men to get the woman of their dreams, even if they thought they were out of their league, right? Which a lot of those men in that film, the perception was, how the heck could you get a woman like that, you know? And these were men who were aiming high, you know? Because these men treated these women differently and better than any other man that they went for. So the woman said, she was like, this is Eva Mendes' character in the movie. She said, where do you get off? Tricking women into getting with these men. And then he goes, trick women? He said, no. He said, I'm tricking women to go out of their way so that they could meet great men like guys like Albert Brenneman. Albert Brenneman is Kevin James' character. He said so that they can go out of their way, because otherwise, how would they notice these men? These men are not their types per se, but they're good men, and these women want good men, right? So I get what they're trying to say. We're not telling women to lower their standards. We're just trying to tell you to be realistic. Men are taught that all the time. Men are taught to be realistic. Men are always taught you can't just get what you want. You have to work for it. We understand that concept with everything in life. You know, we're taught to always put people first before us. That's what we're taught. For the most part, if you was raised by the old school, I don't know about what these new parents are teaching young boys. But if you have parents that are from the old school, they teach sons. I don't know about daughters. I don't have sisters. But they teach sons, hold the door open for her, help her with her bags if they're too heavy. If you see a little kid struggling to get across the street, help the kid, help the old lady. Help. There's nothing wrong with that. That's what, young boys are taught. What are young daughters taught? Right? If you're teaching your daughter, not you, Zacchaeus, but if you're teaching your daughter to appreciate all the help that men provide, then she'll understand that that she's not entitled to it. But a lot of young girls are taught these are what men do, and you either make them do it or they're expected to do it.
Mm-hmm.
But you got to teach girls to appreciate all these things that men are taught to do.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Mm-hmm.
We're not asking for a woman to hold the door open for us. We're not asking that. We're not asking a woman to help me with my bags.
Nope.
Because they're heavy. As men,
Nope.
we understand we got to take 2, 3, 4, 5 trips if it's too much and if it's too heavy.
Yeah.
We're not entitled to help.
You got some women that you open a door for.
And they don't even say thank you. See what I'm saying?
Nah, they don't say thank you. Just walk right through.
I had a woman look at me crazy because I didn't hold the door for her, and I was 10 feet back. 10 feet back, and she looked at me like, ain't you going to get that? And what did I do? Like a freaking sucker. You know what I did?
What's that?
Open the door. Did I get a thank you? Did I get a thank you?
You didn't.
No, I ain't even get looked at.
Wow.
Okay? So, here's the thing. What I need to be taught now is, hey, we need to help each other in our roles. In my role, I help you with this. And in your role, you help me with that. That has to be taught, man. We're not taught community. We're not taught village. We're not taught tribe. There is a team effort with a community and a tribe. It's all this individualism being taught to young women. That's not helping our society. And I'm not teaching men individualism either. I'm not teaching. I'm not going to teach men go out there and care for you and don't keep in mind your legacy. No. I'll teach a man to pursue his purpose and his plan, to put him in a position so that he can grow his empire, right? His kingdom, because that's what this ultimately is, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I'll teach him that, but I'm not going to teach him to be selfish.
Mm-hmm.
And what I'm seeing in this world is that, and these modern men and women, is that they're reacting to all the we're going overtime here. It's fine. This is important. What's being taught is tired of being hurt, right, ladies? You tired of being hurt, right, fellas? Okay, this is what you need to do so you can not get hurt again. And you know what happens to these men and women that listen to that? They end up being by themselves. Life is already hard enough, right? We were not put on this earth to do life alone. That's not what that was for.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't supposed to be like this. People out there dying to get money. I mean, literally dying to get money to impress some woman. No, that's not how that goes. What's being taught is, fellas, go out there, chase the bag, and the woman will chase you. She'll chase you for your bag, not you. So I ain't going to teach that.
So facts. Those are facts. Yeah, man.
Zacchaeus, what can you say what men and women should do that will benefit the family, the society as a whole? Because the society is struggling. If it's all about individualism, the society will fall.
Well, this society makes it harder for men to be men a lot of times. The reason why I say it like that, because, and the reason why they make men chase the bag, because first of all, you got to feed yourself.
You do.
And then on top of that, you wanna settle down with a woman, but you're thinking about providing for, if you have a family with her, you're thinking about providing for them too. Providing for your wife, providing for, or if you have a, providing for a family one day. This is why some people stay single, because they're busy chasing the bag. This is why some people stay single, because you hear some people, even some women, but you hear some men say, well, I ain't getting married until I got my stuff together. And sometimes that could take 10 years, even with a degree. Sometimes that could take several years. And before you know it, you're 50, 40 years old, 50 years old, and you're still chasing the bag. And you haven't found that woman, or that woman haven't found that man that can say, well, baby, let me hold your hand, let me grind with you. Only few of us find it. Only few people find it. Like, I know I found it. Only few people find it.
Yeah.
Only few people find it. And this is why some people stay single, because the society that we live in, with everything, the cost of living is so high that you're busy, you're working just to chase the bag. And you're hoping to, maybe you go on these dating sites, maybe you find somebody that will grind with you. Maybe. That's up in the air. Because, and the reason why some men chase the bag so much, because it's like, well, I'm looking at all these women, these beautiful, gorgeous women, how they want these guys that have this, they gotta have that, they gotta have this already, they gotta have that already. And some of these women, for the women's perspective, it's more like, well, I want him to be a Superman. I want him to be able to do this for me. I want him to be there. I want him to be the guy that can actually also impress my friends too. In other words, he got all the money, he got the big house. I want that. I want this, I want that. I want this, I want to feel secure. I want this, I want that. So this is why some people stay single, because it's all these elements that are put in place into society. This is why a lot of people stay single, because it's like, well, I haven't found that one yet. It's a blessing to find somebody that accepts you for you. That's a blessing. That's actually a blessing. Not everybody finds that, you know.
And that goes back to what we said in the beginning. So these are our final thoughts, and it goes back to what we said in the beginning about, when you meet a woman, don't just after you get her number, plan a date the next day. No, you need to talk to this woman. Ladies, you need to talk to this man. You need to find out if y'all even can make it past a phone call.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So that both of y'all don't waste your time.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I won't waste yours, you won't waste mine.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I'm asking women to be very considerate. Understand the man, unless women start paying for dates, first dates, which ain't gonna happen on a grand scale. But women, I want you to understand, fellas, you understand this too. If you can't see yourself talking to this man for a second date, don't go out on the first one. Simple as that.
Mm-hmm.
This man got to not only buy him something to eat, but he got to buy you something to eat. Because, ladies, would you date a man if he said, all right, for our first date, because we trying to get to know each other, let's go Dutch? How many women are doing that?
They're not going to do it.
Thank you.
They're not going to do it.
They're not going to do it.
Nah.
A woman will say, you either pay for
we don't have
me
a
and
date.
you, or we not going at all. Right?
Exactly.
So,
yeah.
Be that as it may, because I'm not asking for Dutch, but be that as it may. Me and most men are not asking for Dutch. We're just asking for appreciation. And that is, we're not asking for draws. I'm not talking about cats asking, you know, like I said, we know who we're talking to. We know who we're not talking to. We're saying this. If the man took you out, y'all talk whatever, and you realize this is not going anywhere, that's a respect that both of y'all come to. Okay, fine. He'll take his L. You know what I'm saying? You take yours, whatever that is, and keep it moving. But if you know that you really wasn't rocking with him in the first place, like in the first place, you looked at him and you was like, nope. Don't accept the date because you hungry.
Right.
You know? Both men and women have to financially prepare themselves for a date. Women pay for their maintenance. A man not only pays for his maintenance, if he got a car, he got to get his car cleaned, wash the car inside and outside, get his outfit, all this type of stuff, haircut, all that type of stuff. Ladies, I know hand nails, all that. Look good. Go ahead.
Mm-hmm.
But then he's still gotta have money left over to take you out on a date. And then he's still gotta have money left over to take care of his bills. Okay?
Facts, real.
So understand that a man's currency, ladies, is not only his resources, but his time. Because he could spend his time somewhere else with a woman who actually is feeling him and who would appreciate him. You know? And last thing in the video, and then I'll be done with my final thought. You know, she asked kind of, what'd she say? She said, okay, she mentioned the same goals. Dang, I'm starting to lose what she said. But, you know, you gotta appreciate these things.
Yes, you do.
I'll wrap it up. So, any last words, Zacchaeus? Go ahead, take your time.
Yeah, it's all about chemistry, and it's all about respecting each other, and and know the signs. Communicate, and that will make all the difference. Once you're able to communicate, that'll make all the difference in where that person's at in your life, or that person in your life. Communication is key with that, you know? That's my final thoughts. Yeah, man.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
This was another episode of Mrs. Z and Fifth.
Yes.
Tell them where they can reach you, Zacchaeus.
You can reach me at Zacchaeus Music on Instagram, on Facebook, Wayne Backus 167 on Facebook, also on Twitter at Wayne Backus 2 on Twitter. Yes, and you can subscribe to us if you like our content. Love it. Subscribe.
Subscribe.
And leave a comment. Also leave a comment too. What you think? Yeah.
Exactly. Subscribe to this channel, Fifth General TV. The home for the Mrs. Z and Fifth podcast.
That's right.
Y'all can reach me at the Fifth General on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. This was probably the longest episode we had in a while. We haven't had this episode is almost 2 hours.
Oh wow.
It's been a while. It's been a while.
Yeah.
Well, we had quite the material to
Yeah.
actually expand on this. I want to actually give another respects to the article. This was from insider.com. 8 signs of an emotionally unavailable person.
Yeah.
So that's what I want to get into. And once again, I want to give credit to Spicy Mari for her podcast. This is from The Spicy Life, her YouTube channel. This episode was called "This Is Not the Life I Imagine," featuring Connor Morgan. This was released like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So I just want people to just, if they want to hear the rest of that, they could take from it. They could have their critique or not. Once again, I'm not critiquing Spicy at all. I'm not critiquing Connor since she was on the hot seat. I'm just trying to speak to what I think many women like her have said what she said. A lot of women are in her position. Women who are hardworking, but at the end, they got everything they want except for a husband, and that's based off of what she said.
Yeah.
Her life is not fulfilled yet. She's happy about everything else, but her life is not fulfilled yet because she says that she thought she would have a husband and kids by now. And a lot of women who are her age and older haven't experienced that yet, and they don't know why. And we're trying to get to the bottom of why.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You know, I want everybody married, but we all know that that's mathematically not going to happen because there's more women in the world than men. So this is why, at the end of the day, you have to compete for what it is that you want. We understand that as men.
Yeah.
We want a wife. We got to compete for that, right?
Right.
Ladies, you want a husband, you got to compete for that. There it is.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
But love yourself too. Yeah.
But love
all right.
you. Thank you. Make sure that your happiness, you already have that before you get into a relationship.
That's right. That's right.
Don't look towards a person to fill that void.
Right.
Pastor Michael Todd said, there are people who pick the people that they want from their pain.
Mm-hmm.
You don't do that. That's how you pick the wrong person. All right. We out of here.
All right.
See y'all next time.
Yeah.
Next episode.
Next time.
Fifth.
Fifth.
Peace out.
That's right. Peace out.
Peace.
Peace. Yeah, peace. Yeah.